everyone, greetings from Tanzania. My name is Mbaga-Mandara. I used to go to Pembroke House School in Gilgil, Kenya, and will soon be attending Shrewsbury School in England. This year, my project was on water pollution on the East African coastline and how it impacts the marine ecosystems and communities. The ocean is important to all living things. Water is the main source of life, and we simply wouldn't be alive without it. 71% of the world is water, and 96.5% of this is ocean. The all-important water cycle starts in the ocean. 60% of the 280,000 species of fish live in the ocean. More than 100 million tons of fish are eaten worldwide each year. 50% of the oxygen we breathe is from the ocean. However, many factors affect the marine ecosystem and surrounding communities. There are 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic debris in the ocean. Poison and dynamite fishing started in Tanzania 50 years ago. Industries dumped their chemical waste into the ocean, and in 2012, pollution killed 8,835,250 people in the world, compared to the 3,427,000 killed by HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis. This is shocking, as most people would think HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis kills more than pollution. I think that more money and effort should be put into preventing pollution as well as preventing HIV, malaria, and tuberculosis, as prevention is better than cure. Overfishing also disrupts our agriculture. So what of all this is that 35% of children in Tanzania are undernourished. I said this because I think that fish is a very good source of protein and is very cheap. Also, the Food and Agriculture Organization said many of the world's poorest people depend on fish. So if we fish manageably, then there'll be enough fish to reduce this number. Also, when industries do mining and the mercury mining, and some of it ends up going into the river or the ocean, this can lead to Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. So why does water conservation concern me? Because the marine ecosystem is the main system and is the reason of all living things. So I want to stop harming the ecosystem, because if I don't, it will negatively affect all the other systems. So we need to be responsible for our environment. Also, when I see rubbish on the beach, I feel sad knowing it's going to sit there for 450 years and not benefit anything. The Indian Ocean is also the second most polluted ocean in the world. Tanzania was voted the 12th most dirtiest city in the world, and I do not see this as an achievement. If there is no litter on our beaches, our tourism will increase, making our economy rise and improving people's lifestyles. So what's polluting the Tanzanian coastline? The simple throwing of rubbish onto a beach, industries dumping their chemical waste into the ocean, fishermen not letting fish grow and repopulate, oil and charcoal being thrown onto the beaches, and untreated sewage going into the ocean. And did you know a simple plastic bottle takes 450 years just to decompose? To learn more about what pollutes the Tanzanian coastline, I visited and spent time with the WWF, Nipe Fagio, Umsasani Fishing Village, Kiwa District Council, a fishing village in Kiwa, and the Umsasani Primary School. My first stop to fact-finding was at World Wildlife Foundation. I visited their headquarters in Dar es Salaam, and I spoke with the conservation specialist, Gaudensia, and Dr. Matthias. WWF is is a worldwide organization that focuses on protecting the environment but also making sure that the surrounding communities know how to as well. Their global mission is promoting the reduction of pollution and wasteful consumption. I luckily got the privilege to work side by side with them since we both had a passion for conservation and water. My next stop, Kilwa. Kilwa is a historical town and a small fishing village 400 kilometers south of Dar. I went there to join the annual events that WWF was hosting in partnership with the Kilwa District Council. On my second day, I went for an annual event that was for handing out prizes to the Beach Management Unit, BMUs. BMUs are ordinary fishermen from that community which make an impact by making sure fishermen are fishing what they've been licensed to fish, are not fishing anything that they're not anything illegal, or they're fishing the right way. The judges judged the fishermen by how they stood out in their communities, and they awarded the best 3 out of the 5 districts. Third place got 3 million, second place got 5, and first place got 10 million. This money was put into their work, as for example, fixing boats, buying nets, and so on. On the third day, I visited a small village where octopus fishing had been closed for 3 months in order for the octopus to grow. That day, it was being opened since March, and the district council and WWF were there to see the opening. This was a very happy time for the fishermen, as 1 kilogram cost 5,000 Tanzanian shillings, and some were catching as much as 6 kilograms. This money goes into supporting their families and possibly giving their children education. My other visit for more information finding. Nipa Fagio is a small NGO that relies on donations and volunteers to operate. They focus on trying to change people's mindsets and to be their own change. They focus mainly on schools, as it is easier to change younger minds. In Tanzania, they do month cleanups at the end of every month and make sure that the community join in so they can make a difference. Nipa Figure helped me organize a beach cleanup by giving me contacts and important information. Nipa Figure's slogan is "I am the change," and this relates well to my project, as I think people need to be their own change. Msasani Fishing Village. I visited a fish market in Dar es Salaam called Msasani Fishing Village. There are approximately 100 fishermen. If a fisherman catches the best catch they can make up to 60,000. However, they told me that there is no fish in Dar es Salaam and they have to travel as far as Zanzibar. The government is also not taking enough action, and people who are mandated are not doing their jobs well. And the laws are not modern enough so fishermen can outsmart the law. I organized a small beach cleanup at Coco Beach, a local beach in Dar es Salaam. I used social media and face-to-face contact to ask people to join. I asked family, friends, and neighbors, and Nipe Fagio to join in. I got some bags for Nipe Fagio and some gloves and some refreshments. I got this money by asking people who are coming to give a small donation that would not go into my pockets but into good use. We shared our bags between 2 and walked across the beach collecting all kinds of litter on the beach. The litter varied from handbags, toothpaste tubes, and a lot of shoes. My visit to the familiar Msasani Primary School. I visited the school I've worked with for the past 2 years. I went and told them about ocean pollution and how it affects the marine ecosystem and why it is important to protect it. I then asked them how they think they can help solve this solution. And I also told them ways that they could by telling their families not to use plastic bags and simple things as not to throw litter. What I learned during this project, that unplanned urban areas are the main cause of ocean pollution, that the best way to change a community's mindset is by giving them responsibilities and awarding them. For example, I thought the BMUs at Kilwa was a very, very good idea, as it showed that ordinary people from the community can make a big impact. I also learned that some people's lives really depend on fish. For example, again, the small village in Kilwa, they ate fish, they bought fish, they fished fish, and they also sold fish. I also learned that it's never too late to change, and the bigger the city, the more pollution and illegal fishing occurs. We need to act more in bigger cities as millions of people live there. How am I going to be the change maker? To take part in Nipe Fagil's monthly cleanups when I can in Dar es Salaam for the summer holidays, visit WWF every Christmas holiday, educate school children about what I have learned, and spread the word about oceans wherever I go by social media, stickers, and just talking to people. So, don't litter and add to ocean pollution. Thank you for listening.